they've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
What's going on, guys? Logan JYA here. Thank you for tuning into this next episode of Drytron Combos and Techs. I've got some new stuff for you that I think you're really going to dig. We're going to get back to basics a little bit, and we're going to show you some more goofy things as well as some really crazy techs. If you haven't seen the first video, I highly recommend you check it out. Before we get into it, a huge shout out and thank you to our sponsors for this video, Your Playmat, the gorgeous custom sleeves. I love these things. Be sure to check them out. Link in the description down below. And yeah, don't forget to use my promo code, all that good stuff. But without further ado, let's get into this Drytron content from the Drykage himself. Objection! Alright guys, so last video we really didn't even get into the most basic of Drytron combos, and some of you who are experienced players may be making some common mistakes, so what I want to show you guys is the super duper basic full combo Drytron board and the standard opening hand that it tends to take to make it. We're doing it in the most ideal situations, alpha plus zeta. You can do it interchangeably with other names because fortunately enough, Moy Beta Fafnir replaces whatever name you're missing, but I just want you guys to be aware that this combo can vary. If you haven't already seen the anti-Nibiru proof combo, go check that in the last video. It makes it super simple. But in case you're an experienced player and want to see if you're making any mistakes, or if you're a new player to the deck and really want to, how do I play this? This is how you do it. So we're going to start things off right now. And also, just so you guys are aware, you can use either one of these cards in place of one or the other, or both of these cards to get you an additional name. If you open all three, you're super duper safe, and we'll go over that a little bit later. But first and foremost, let's get into it. Starting things off, Alpha Thub and effect to pitch Zeta. I'm going to run through it pretty fast, but if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Alpha adds Ben 10 almost always. Zeta effect pitch Ben 10 to search the Medionis Drytron like so. Ben 10 effect will then add the Diviner from your deck to your hand. Next step is going to be to overlay these two monsters to summon your Moy Beta Fafnir. Moy Beta Fafnir here can either Foolish Burial Delta or Gamma, but in most situations you want to go for Gamma because it gives you that essential follow-up. Playing on from here, you're going to activate Medionis Drytron, detach a material from your Moy Beta Fafnir, summon back your Ben 10, and then activate Gamma's effect in Grave, sacking the Ben 10 to special summon itself and another Drytron from the graveyard. This will then trigger Ben 10 once more to search you that copy of Cyber Angel Ida 10. Moving on from here, we can normal summon that Diviner, declare its effect, send the Herald. Herald effect will then search us another Herald, the Herald of Ultimateness, to our hand. Moving on from here, we can reduce the attack of that Gamma to add back that Medionis Drytron, activate it, detach another material from Moy Beta Fafnir, and special summon Ida 10. When Ida 10 is summoned, we can then add back the Medionis Drytron back to our hand from the graveyard and proceed to play. So what we're going to do next is overlay Ida 10 and Diviner, summon Beatrice, Beatrice effect then detach Diviner, like so. Foolish Burial the Eva, and then we're going to declare the effect of Eva, banishing Diviner and the Herald of the Arclight. And that's going to let us search our Herald of Orange Light and the other copy of Diviner. Moving on from here, we're in a pretty good place. We're going to activate that Medionis Drytron, send that Moy Beta Fafnir that has its full attack points to summon the Herald of Ultimateness, and then finally we take these two leftover monsters and turn them into an IP Masquerine on the top so we can tag out our Beatrice and our IP into a Unicorn on our opponent's turn for an additional form of interruption, and we have our Ultimateness locked and loaded, where we will get 2 more searches for Eva in our opponent's draw phase when we activate Beatrice. Now, for those of you who saw the deck profile a while back, you know that we are playing Verte and Dragoon, and you may be asking yourself, why did we go for IP instead of Verte and Dragoon? And I'm going to tell you right now. If you are playing the Dragoon package and you open full combo, you do not, I repeat, you do not want to summon Dragoon on the first turn. You want to hold that guy for turn 2 to clear out the game, or use it in a scenario where you get hand trapped to death. If you're getting hand trapped and you still got those 2 monsters left, that's when you summon the Dragoon. But you don't want to put it on your first turn board, and let me tell you why. Because Dragoon loses to the same things that Herald of Ultimateness loses to. That being Forbidden Droplets and Dark Ruler no more. If you want to make your field even more susceptible and bust your nut chance of actually coming back into the game on turn 2, be my guest and summon the Dragoon, but I'm telling you, it doesn't raise your ceiling significantly enough to throw it on the first turn end board when you're going full combo. So please heed my words. If you're a Dragoon player, hold it for the next turn and you'll be able to use it, catch your opponent off guard. If they think you're playing standard Drytron and you steal game 1, you can creep in and totally smoke them games 2 and 3 when they don't see it coming. So trust me, you do not need to bring the Dragoon. The one benefit I will say is if you summon them both and your opponent has a Kaiju, they can only Kaiju one of them, right? But regardless, they're still going to be fighting through double monster effect negate and an IP tag out, so I'm not that concerned. Anyway, guys, let's move on to the next combo. Alright, guys, now this next combo is a bit more casual, but can actually facilitate a very easy OTK, and is kind of fun to try out. So, you know, it's an alternative to Dragoon or Draconids in the main. It's something you can give a shot. But anyway, we're going to start it out the usual same, and the cards that you're going to need to play for this one is a Geonator Transverser and 1 Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. So this facilitates a super duper easy OTK, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Alright, so before we get started, I have to clarify something. So your opponent will need to control a monster in a particular zone for this combo to work, and the monster has to either be in the center column zone or the far right column zone, the one closest to your main deck. So for the sake of this example, we're going to say that that monster is in the center column zone, and we're going to play out this combo to show you how it functions, alright? So like I said, this is a bit more of a casual combo, but it can really end games. So starting things off, we'll do the usual deal: Alpha, pitch Zeta, summon, search Ben 10, Zeta effect engrave, pitch Ben 10, special, search Medionis, Ben 10 effect, add Diviner. So far so good. Overlay, we're going to summon out the Moy Beta Fafnir over here in defense. Moy Beta Fafnir's effect will then send Gamma. And then we'll proceed to play like this, okay? This is where we start to diverge. So we're going to normal summon the Diviner, use Diviner's effect, Foolish Burial the Herald. The Herald will get the search, grabbing the Chaos Max, like so. Next, we activate the Medionis, detach both materials off of the Moy Beta Fafnir to summon the Chaos Max Dragon. The zonage for this one doesn't matter as much, so we'll just put it over here. Then we can reduce the Moy Beta, add this back, doesn't really matter. We're going to use Gamma's effect engrave, sacking the Moy Beta to summon itself and any other Drytron. And then we're going to take our Diviner and our Alpha, link those two off into the Geonator Transverser. So this is how it'll be looking. Your opponent's monster is in the center main monster zone. You've got the Chaos Max wherever you want it, and you use Transverser's effect to give them control of your defense position Drytron monster. Take control of their monster, enter battle, Chaos Max swings through for 8k damage since it inflicts double piercing through the 0 defense Drytron monster for game. Facilitates a super easy OTK. A bit more casual, but something definitely fun to try out. Let's move on. Alright guys, time for next combo, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but last combo video I told you all about Kingagushi Gig Boo Kikinagashi Foko, or Fucko, as I like to call it. This is our guy Fucko, right? I told you how good this card was last time. In case you get drolled, you're guaranteed to live. Well, I hate to tell you all this. You can still play this card 100%. You want to cut the Lyrless, you want to cut the Downer, do you want to play Downer to end this? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You can get away with it. But unfortunately, in my opinion, it's fallen out of style, my friends. And instead, we've got our new friend, and his name is Dragoon. So when you get hand trapped, you're going for your Dragoon, you're summoning your Verte, you're summoning your Dragoon, and you put up a big fat wall that also has an Omni Negate that your opponent's got to deal with, right? So I'm sure y'all know how to summon Verte and Dragoon, right? This is a pretty obvious one, but let's just run through the basics once more, alright? So here we go. Alright, you start your turn and you got, who cares really? You've got Zeta and you got Gamma in your hand. Basically you have a way of getting two monsters on your field anyway. You use your Zeta effect, you pitch your Gamma, you search off your ritual spell. Oh yay, I'm in such a good place right now. And you get to summon off your Zeta. Oh crap, I just got hit with a DROLL. Oh no. What am I supposed to do? Well, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you, if you're still playing Meteonis, you can end on a pretty thick end board, so be sure to check out our last deck profile to see that. But when this situation comes up to you and you've got a way of getting another monster on the field, say even you get ashed on an alpha or at an unopportune time on a Ben 10, a divine or something like that, and it makes it tricky, or you get belled on an affecting grave, dude, you don't got to worry about it, because you know what we do? Summon Dragoon. Just use Gamma Effect, sack this, bring it back, link these two off into Verte Dragoon. This is the backup strat where if you get stopped, but you still got two monsters, you're paying that 2k, you're bringing this guy out, you're sending your pieces from the deck to the grave, and just tell your opponent to deal with this. I'm telling you, this is the way. And whenever you're put in a tricky situation, you can just go out there, summon Dragoon, and not have to worry anymore. So what I highly recommend is you can eat through like 2 to 3 hand traps and then be like, okay, well, I still got 2 monsters, summon Verte, summon Dragoon, deal with this, and you're only playing with 2 to 3 cards. Good stuff. Good for me. And if you can still full combo through that many hand traps, then full combo. So be it. And like I said earlier, hold this for turns 2 and 3. Never slap this on your end board when you don't need to. There it goes. I was waiting for it to focus the whole time. Alright guys, now it's time to talk about some specific tech choices that you can try out in your Drytron build. Some of these are a bit more casual, some of them have some serious meta implications, and I highly recommend you give them a shot. Now, first and foremost, I want to do an honorable mention to Triple Tactics Talent. This card is really quite good. I personally don't play it, but I see a lot of people opting to play it, so if you're not main decking hand traps in your Drytron build, I encourage you to try out the Triple Tactics Talent. It's not for everybody, not for me personally, but I wanted to give it a shout out in the tech speech. So, now, first and foremost, you guys already remembered Neospatian Aquadolphin from the first video, right? This is an amazing card that you can side deck to bring in going first, and it helps rip hand traps out of your opponent's hand and know exactly what they have that you will need to play against. And now I want to kind of build upon that today by mentioning how this card, plus the Verte Dragoon engine, is significantly better than when it was on its own. So we could still full combo with Aquadolphin, we just needed to have a pretty good hand. Now it's even easier than ever, because sometimes you see your opponent's got multiple interruptions, you're like, I don't want a full combo, I can just Verte Dragoon and know exactly what to spend that Dragoon negate on. Or if it's safe, you know, we run it all the way. So this card in conjunction with the Verte Dragoon engine is still quite good. So let's never forget about our boy Aquadolphin. Rips out Drolls, rips out Ashes, Bells, you name it, we rip it. Moving on from there, the next tech card I want to talk about is in a similar vein. Now, this one's a bit on the more casual side, but has serious applications, and it works really well in tandem with that Aquadolphin. You really could play Prohibition and either call an engine card that your opponent has, a Nibiru, Dark Ruler No More, Droplets, whatever you're concerned about losing to, you can play Prohibition and then they legally cannot play it. So it's pretty fun. It's a fun tech choice. Again, you play both these cards, you get to look at your opponent's hand, see what they have, and pick the exact card that you want to stop them with. It's also really good against specific decks that are really reliant on one card. For example, Subterror, you can call Dragoon or you can call Guru, and it puts them in a very tricky situation. So I did want to make mention of Prohibition as a potential side deck tech that you could give a shot to. A real quick one, this has always been a great card, Mind Control. It's a great going second card to yoink monsters your opponent controls and or force out interruptions. You can use them to make Verte Dragoon, or you can use them to link climb into other plays, or like I said, just force out that interruption. So something to consider for the side deck for sure. Would not main deck it. We talked about this in one of our first deck profiles, and I continue to carry it over, but I want to testify about the awesomeness of Mystic Mine. If you can find room in your side deck to play Mystic Mine, it can be an absolute blowout in certain matchups. Prank Kids, it's pretty good. Tri-Brigade, it's really good. You slap this up there when they have the Revolt set and the Apollosa on field, and you just don't care. You're playing Drytron. Did they expect this? Probably not. So you can sit on it. You might even be able to win off of it on its own. So give Mystic Mine a shot if you haven't already done so. And closing things out, we already talked about Chaos Max, we talked about Dragoon. Dragoon is absolutely awesome. I want to make one final mention of another card to consider trying in your extra deck, if you have the space for it, is the Underworld Goddess. This is a really free out to a lot of problem monsters, including that Ad Ignister guy. Since you're using it for a summon, it cannot be unaffected by it. It's it's good to have, and it has an awesome effect where it can only be killed by things that target it, and it stops graveyard effects too, and it has a blanket negation when it hits the board. So this card is phenomenal if you have the room for it. Joins very well with the IP Masquerena, and it's something to consider. So I know some of these may be obvious things that you may have already known, or maybe some of y'all learned something new today and have some new techs to try out. So don't forget to enter the giveaway. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Twitch stream, play in our free tournaments, all that good stuff. Shout out to Your Playmat for these dope custom sleeves. You can find a link in the description down below to where you can pick up your own and use my promo code. And yeah, guys, that's all I got for you today. Logan JYA signing off. Have a great day. Quick interjection. Do you want to win free stuff? Well, I appreciate all of you, and as a thank you, I want to give back to y'all for helping us reach our subscriber goal on YouTube and our follow goal on Twitch. Thank you all so much. And in return, I'm giving out the Dry Kage thank you package. I've got a deck box, a pack of sleeves, and one Moy Beta Fafnir going out to one lucky winner. So don't forget to fill out the Google form. First link in the description down below to enter in to win. That's simple, guys. Best of luck. We'll draw it eventually. Good stuff.